Yeah, me I give it to them, you know. Yeah, man, a long time me I watch and I see them. I mislead you with them. Yo. Yeah, man, me just can't sit back and I watch the people them I destroy the little ghetto youth them, no. You have to talk about it. See? I say me nah. I say me nah. Certain things me nah do. Me just nah. And certain things me can't do. Me just can't. Because the little juvenile them a watch you. Me just can't. Hey, me now watch me black brother working hard all week and go rob him chain. Collect bloody money from the black brother head and when him touch down bust him brain. Me can't watch me own black people arise and me walk pull them down the drain and sing dirty music for corrupt the youth them brain.
You know what I mean? So thanks for having me, and by extension thanks for having Dancehall at the university. But anyway, tattoo time come. All of this space for me skin soon done. If you not have one, go get some, go get some. If you not have one, go get some, go get some. When the tattoo nigga start fi bun, me kill off the pain with street vibes drum. If you not have one, go get some, go get some. If you not have one, go get some, go get. When the ink load up and the needle a chook, tattoo sell off, everybody have to look. Gyal say me pretty like a coloring book. Yeah. Well, before I'm going into the lyrics, I would like to take about like half dozen questions. You know them have some questions. You shy girl, you ask me the first question. You have to come on stage, so
Check.
ask me the question. I will.
Teacher, good evening. As you know, whether warranted or unwarranted, celebrity brings role model. People see you as a role model whether you like it or not. How do you embrace that title as Vybz Kartel role model?
Well, right now in Jamaica, Vybz Kartel doesn't embrace that title because society as a whole wants Vybz Kartel and a lot of these dancehall artists to carry the weight of the country's problems on our shoulders by monitoring us as role models. I'm not up for that. I am an entertainer. I'm not a social leader, a political leader, nor a religious leader. I get paid to entertain. And if you as a parent want Vybz Kartel to be a role model for your child, you have already lost as a parent. Next question, please.
Mr. Vybz Kartel, since I say you don't know how people sell their souls to the devil, when I speak about the 33 degrees height of Masonic evil, what exactly are you referring to?
Listen me. In every Masonic sect, more popularly known in Jamaica as a lodge, you have a lot of degrees, the highest degree being 33. When Vybz Kartel said of evil, that was something that I put on for emphasis to make the song more diabolic than it actually is. It has nothing to do with, and any well-read student who has read and studied about Masonry would know that Masonic sect has nothing to do with evil. It is actually a group of brilliant people, some of whom are scholars from this university and students thereof. How much that gone?
Hello. Alright, here's a question. If the hole in the ozone layer continues to get bigger, what will light skin have to do to avoid skin cancer?
Well, that is a very ridiculous question. But I will answer it nonetheless. In Jamaica, more than 10,000 people a year die from lung cancer caused by smoking cigarettes. More than 10,000 people die from liver conditions associated with excessive alcohol drinking. No one has died from lining their skin.
Alright, Kartel. Kartel,
Yeah.
I can't really get to come close, but I'm going to ask a question from right here, if possible.
Yeah.
The part where...
May I have to see your face? You look coward when you're around there, so. Come up. Yeah. Show your face when you're asking the questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't run.
Alright.
Don't run. This is not follow the arrow.
Alright. There's two things. One thing I want to say with the question which you asked regarding soul and soul to the devil, and this one a question that I wanted to answer.
Oh, so you want to ask two questions?
No, one is a statement.
Okay.
Alright. That I want to correct if it's wrong, but
Yeah.
alright, you can hear me? The part where the thing that says love is pain, there was a tattoo that you also ignored to explain, the one with the pyramid and the all-seeing eye and actually the illuminated sun beneath. Alright, that's actually a symbol from the Illuminati. And you also quoted that a lot of lecturers from the university are a part of the Freemasons. Now my question is, two questions, two parts. How you know that there are lecturers here that are in the Illuminati and the Freemasons, as well as what does that tattoo symbolize? Is it symbolism that you're in the Illuminati? If not, what is it?
Okay. All right. Listen. When I said that a lot of people here who probably are lecturers and probably are students, both present and past, of this institution, is really just, I would say, it's just a hypothesis, because a lot of brilliant people, Freemasonry is only consisting of brilliant people. You will not see the average.
Before we get into the video, I want you to check out Countryman Canada, the YouTube channel, and also check out the WhatsApp group down below. You understand? In the group, we share information, we talk about a lot of stuff, and any ideas, any kind of videos you guys want me to make, I'll make it for you as long as it's possible for me to do it. So remember, check out the WhatsApp group. Now, let's go.
There are only, in my mind, two types of music, good and bad. I started DJing at talent shows in the community, where in the early stages of my career, I received a lot of boos and come off a stage, but was not deterred by the hecklers, but rather used it as a motivation to be better and better, till in a short space of time, I was the leading community DJ and the next big artist hopeful. It was on one such stage show that Rowan Butler, who like most of the community thought I was the baddest thing in the world, spotted me and made contact with me with the intention of being my manager. I agreed, and that was the start of a very successful, albeit short-term relationship with Butler and I. I was then introduced to Bounty Killer by Butler in January 2000 by the Artivision car wash where the killer hung out at the time, and I was quickly recruited in the Warlords camp after he heard a song that I had written for him to sing. Another successful but short-term relationship was formed, the details of which will be recipe for another lecture. Music, like it or hate it, because in Jamaica, dancehall music has been getting a lot of flack recently, or not recently, since its emergence from a wide cross-section of society, but Vybz Kartel music has also been at the center of a lot of controversy over the years. But my music is a friend to some people and a foe to others. But that is totally acceptable to me based on the mere fact that dancehall itself has always been social commentary reflecting the duplicitous foundation of the Jamaican experience. As you students would know, Sir Walter Rodney alluded to this factor in Grounding with My Brethren. Jamaica is not out of many one people. Instead, it is an economically, ethnically, politically and religiously divided country. So, whereas reggae spoke to the Garveyite message of one love, dancehall generally speaks to the bogle message of rebellion, which in my opinion is why it is sometimes feared, scrutinized, and demonized by our post-colonial masters and their subordinates. My music is controversial, but so was reggae, which interestingly was labeled rebel music back in the day. So reggae was also controversial before it was fully accepted, first by the lower class of people where it originated, then by the upper class of society after it had garnered international recognition. So basically, it went abroad and came back to us, and we accepted it because you know Jamaican love foreign things. Yeah, but seriously though, much of what dancehall is saying today is not much different from the rude boy era of reggae music. For reference, I'd like to quote two Bob Marley songs. I want to disturb my neighbor because I'm feeling so right. I want to turn up the disco, blow them to full watts tonight. Or the more politically poignant, because I feel like bombing a church. Now that you know the preacher is lying. The point that I'm trying to make is that the stone that the builder refused shall become the head cornerstone. And right now, dancehall has become that disregarded stone. Because look into this, 30 years ago, Bob Marley was despised and ridiculed by the upper echelons of society as a dirty Rasta boy, ganja smoking, and promoting civil unrest. Now, that same Bob Marley is poster boy for the Jamaica Tourist Board. With him big spliff in my mouth, same way. Alright, so fast forward to Vybz Kartel and how Vybz Kartel has affected dancehall music. Firstly, when Kartel came on the scene in early 2000, dancehall, in terms of new flows, new refreshing ways to deliver the usual topics of dancehall music, was at a lull. Basically, you know, flows like Bad Man, Lukuman, Chukuman, Ukuman, Bukuman, then Fly, Go Around, Fukuman, was a breath of fresh air to dancehall fans who at the time were being swept away in a wave of hip-hop before the Kartel tide rose to prominence. In a me call can I, with the buckle at all can I, tough a lie, spliff a light, spliff so till me high, talk a fly, signified that a new star was born and was here to stay. In my view, Kartel is not merely a DJ, but also a poet of Shakespearean stature. And I say this because Vybz Kartel is not the best, but one of the best doing dancehall. And I say this because my lyrics at first glance may seem simple, but different layers can be peeled away to reveal a much more complex meaning, depending on age, knowledge, and nationality of the listener. Two quick examples. Some breed a gun with man, but some boy no have them. Me war colder than Reagan and Gorbachev them. The second line speaks not about coolness in war, but about the actual Cold War era between America and Russia, whose respective leaders at a critical point in time were Ronald Reagan and Mikhail Gorbachev. Another recent example of my poetic prowess would be me still a lyricist, vocabulary physicist, remember the Michelangelo who created the graphic images. And those lyrics are self-explanatory. Don't thief the calf there. Or you say you want to answer the question? Until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance than the color of his eyes. Come on stage and answer this question for me, please. Let her show. Tell me in your opinion what you think. What wage? Yeah. You look like. Let her show, please. You can come. No, you can come. The people need to hear your answer. Until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance than the color of his eyes. War. What do you think is Imperial Majesty meant by this?
Can you repeat the question?
Until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance than the color of his eyes. War. What do you think His Imperial Majesty meant by this?
Well, I think that he meant that seeing that a man has eyes, you can't look at a man and we're not done. The same way you can't look to, the same way you can't look at a man and can't tell the book by the cover. You can't look a man on the skin and you can't look through him eyes and say you are him, that you have to really sit and talk to him and know him to know the background.
Alright, that is a good point or a bad point? Anyone else want to answer that question? Real quickly. You with the dreadlocks. No, not you. She with the dreadlocks.
That, let me get the quote right.
Until the color of a man's skin.
Until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance than the color of his eyes. War. What I get from it is the color of your skin, your racial disparities, and the different segregations within race. What you are physically should not matter. It should not speak to your intellectual being.
Thank you very much. Great answer. I love that question. I love that answer there. Anyway. Okay, moving on now. One may not understand why I alter my skin and as such may formulate his or her opinions, many of which might paint me in a negative light, but they are, as I said before, merely opinions, not fact. Scientific fact. Less than 4% of DNA determines our race and skin color. Less than 4% of DNA, according to success with Vybz Kartel selling his soul to the devil. But while I can show you all the moves made from my early days in Portmore, dreaming of becoming a music industry performer to the highest level, to my present position right now, and show you the ups, the downs, the triumphs, the tribulations. Many persons see my rise as phenomenal and unexplainable and will put to it their own ideas as to how Vybz Kartel has reached this far. It could have a place in black culture because of our past. We have naturally suspect each other of some wrongdoing or another to succeed. I say this because these ideas also exist in US culture, with successful entrepreneurs and music brands like Jay-Z, Kanye West, Will Smith, Beyonce Knowles. Or maybe it's just conspiracy theory. Whatever it is, this topic would be a whole new lecture, and even me not addressing it here will stoke people.
Read, where you there? Alright. No man, we need a bigger round of applause than that.
Me don't ask you where me go wrong, and you choose not to tell me. Behind my back of me you ridicule. You could have been the big man, but now you are the sick and valley. Dirt bike, my careers won't float way. Spur sky to all my ill, my sickness make the doctors and the nurse fright. We give the non-believers hope. The nerds life cause my disadvantages and darkness. Me use that third light. Them say me no sing about gun and under girl, so me no relevant. No, prefix, irrelevant. You me represent me hold my head high. Pride, pelican, the average population which dominates. Love me the walker, paradigm shift, me change that. Me the world I really hope for. Collect Grammys, interview, them see me with Oprah. Zoom Jim big them say me mad, me not really sober.
Well, me I forgot to put me on the spot. We never really planned to for a performance. But the scope just put me on the spot. Huh? What you say? I can't hear you. You can't hear me?